81-year-old Yan Jinchang from Xiaogang Village in Fengyang County is busy running his farm-based tourism business. He was among the 18 farmers who signed that pact in December 1978.
We signed the contract with our thumbs, and then the farmland owned by the village collective was allocated to individual households. Why did we decide to sign a contract? It's simple: to have enough to eat.
In the same year, a young student from Tsinghua University arrived in Anhui province for field research.
I came
to Anhui in 1978. I didn't go to Xiaogang Village, but I went to Chuzhou. During that time, I took a book of notes, which I still preserve. I'm deeply impressed by this experience, because this is the first lesson I learned on rural reforms since the reform and opening up.
Xi Jinping's experience in Anhui remained fresh in his memory more than 30 years later, when he became president of China. Today, China remains a large country with numerous small landholding farmers. There is an urgent need to synergize agricultural modernization with industrialization, information technology application, and urbanization. In 2016, on a visit to Xiaogang Village, President Xi said reform is the only way out. It should be always ongoing and updated.
President Xi had a chat with us in the field. He asked us some quite detailed questions. I was wondering how he knew so much about agriculture.
Who will farm the land? It's a realistic problem faced by reformers.
Young people have gone to the cities for a living. Then who will farm the land? Land is the lifeblood of farmers. To be honest, we feel distressed when the land is wasted.
The lack of farmers is not an unfounded concern. At the Central Rural Work Conference in 2013, President Xi Jinping pointed out that separating the contract rights and management rights of land is a new trend of China's changing agricultural production relations. It required us to improve the basic system for rural operations.
We were afraid that we would not be able to get our land back after it had been transferred and end up losing the land. Farmers were concerned about this at that time.
Spending years in field research, Xi Jinping has always had an affinity for agriculture, rural areas, and farmers. He once said, "No matter how we reform, we cannot break down the collective ownership system of rural land. We cannot cause reduction of arable land, and we cannot jeopardize the grain yield and farmers' interests." Since the 18th CPC National Congress in 2012, Xi Jinping has inspected reforms in rural areas for many times. It was during his visit to Xiaogang Village in 2016 that President Xi hosted a symposium on rural reform. He explained the reform on rural land rights to the 18 Xiaogang farmers and the villagers. He said we should respect farmers' thoughts to retain the contract rights of land and transfer the management rights, and further separate contracted management rights into contract rights and land management rights. He said this is another major institutional innovation in rural reform. 4 months later, an opinion plan on the separation of 3 rights was adopted at a meeting of the Central Leading Group for Deepening Reform. Since then, the reform has been rolled out nationwide. On October 18, 2017, Xi Jinping delivered a report at the 19th National Congress of the Communist Party of China. He said China would consolidate and improve the basic rural operation system, advance reform of the rural land system, and improve the system for separating the ownership rights, contract rights, and the management rights for contracted rural land. Rural land contracting practices would remain stable and unchanged on the long-term basis. He announced that the current round of contracts would be extended for another 30 years upon expiration.
It's a big relief for farmers. When we transfer land, we'll be issued a land right certificate, which gives farmers a guarantee. The location and size of farmers' land are clearly recorded on the certificate. In this way, farmers have nothing to worry about.
The reforms led by the separation of three rights have solved several problems related to agriculture, rural areas, and farmers, paving China's pursuit of agricultural modernization.
Through such reforms, we cultivate farmers who are willing and able to farm into new type agricultural business entities to farm more and better land. And those who have other ways of making money can free themselves from the land.
Small fields become large fields, and fragmented fields were reconstituted as whole fields. After large-scale land transfer, Xiaogang Village began high-quality development of modern agriculture. In 2017, the Beida Huang 7 Stars Farm signed a cooperation agreement with Xiaogang Village. The farm sent its best water conservancy personnel and agricultural technicians to Xiaogang Village, where they transferred 500 acres of land and established a modern agricultural demonstration area.
After the reform, farmers are more willing to transfer their land to us. President Xi said science and technology can help revitalize agriculture. I feel like it is President Xi's instruction to us. We are more energized about agricultural cultivation, especially the promotion of advanced agricultural cultivation models. I feel there is even a mission for me to do this.
To date, Xiaogang Village has transferred more than 70% of its land and has cultivated 31 new type business entities, such as professional grain growers, family farms, and farmers' cooperatives.
We could not have dreamed that this year we would have all these agricultural machineries, such as drones and automobiles. Next, we will try to realize mechanized, modernized, and intelligent farming in whole process of production. Just like President Xi said, we will grow more good grains and ensure that everyone can eat safe food.
Yan Jinchang, who has transferred all of his land, is now running his farm-based tourism business. He's witnessed two historic reforms in China's rural land system. Xiaogang Village, the testbed of China's rural reform, is ushering in a new era of modernization.